I've got a new financial goal for you. Not just saving up $1 million for retirement, saving up $1 million into your Roth. You can do it. You can do it. How? It's going to take 3 things. I've got that and more. Come on up. Think about it. Most people do have a goal right now of wanting to save up $1 million in their retirement portfolio by the time they retire. And that's a great goal. However, for you, what if we up the ante? What if we had a higher vision, a higher calling, and your goal was not only to just have $1 million saved up for retirement, to have $1 million saved up in your Roth. Roth IRA, Roth 401k, you combine them and you've got $1 million growing tax-free for your retirement future. Every time you withdraw from that Roth or your portfolio out there in retirement, it's not taxed, it's tax-free. You withdraw those dollars to supplement Social Security, it does not count in that calculation to determine, well, is your Social Security taxable? How much of your Social Security is taxable? It's not counting against you in regards to what you pay for your Medicare, Part B and Part D. That IRMA, income-related monthly adjustment amount, doesn't apply. All the dividends, capital gains, all the withdrawals that you take in the investment activity in that Roth is sheltered from tax, doesn't even impact or jeopardize your ability to get that new senior deduction of $6,000. Wouldn't it be great to have $1 million of your portfolio or a portfolio worth $1 million tax-free for your retirement? You can do it. You can do it. I'm going to calculate how, but it really takes 3 things: contributions, conversions, and compounding. If you're going to get to $1 million in your Roth IRA, of course, a lot of that is going to be you contributing dollars into feeding the machine, feeding that Roth, whether that's Roth IRA, Roth 401k. You can contribute as long as you've got earnings. You can be contributing to a Roth IRA as long as your income isn't too high, right? If your income is too high, modified adjusted gross income, then you're limited in how much you can contribute to the Roth IRA. You might not be eligible at all. But assuming you've got earned income and your modified adjusted gross income isn't too high, you can contribute $7,000 a year into that Roth, each of you, okay, if you're married, and an extra $1,000 if you're experienced in life, age 50 or older. That's the catch-up contribution. So $7,000 or even $8,000, depending on your age. For the 401k or 403b, by the way, you can contribute up to those limits. So $23,500 into that Roth side of your 401k. If you're age 50 or older, you can do more, $7,500 in a catch-up. And now, new, starting this year, if you're age 60, 61, 62, 63, you can do an even bigger catch-up, a super catch-up. A lot of the journey to get to $1 million saved up into that Roth is going to be from your contributions. So let's do the math. What if you just contributed the maximum amount to your Roth IRA every single year of your career? So that $7,000, you contributed $7,000 to your Roth every single year. Say you were able to get a compound rate of return of around 8%. Could you get to $1 million? Yes. How long would it take you? About 33 years. Think about that. That's probably about the length of your career, right? Maybe a little bit shorter than your career. My college roommate, my senior year, he told me he graduated a little bit before me, graduated in December. I graduated in the spring. And he said, I don't know. My dad told me I just need to open this Roth IRA thing. I don't even know how it works, but he just told me I need to max it out every single year. Well, we've lost touch, unfortunately. I don't know if he's still doing it, but that's this. Yeah, if you max it out, if you don't focus on your finances much at all, but you max out that Roth every single year of your career, you're on track to get to $1 million. What if you don't have that long? What if you want to achieve that in 20 years? 20 years going from nothing to having $1 million in that Roth. Like say you can earn an 8% compound return. Just under $23,000 a year is what you need to be contributing. Just under $23,000 a year. That's a lot of money. It's not going to happen by accident, but it's about a 15% contribution on a household salary of $150,000. Again, it's nothing to sneeze at. It's going to be difficult, but you can do it. A 15% contribution rate into your 401k, that is what we recommend for most folks. Household income around $150,000, that's good money, but that'd be another path to get there. Only 15 years where you want to go from 0 to $1 million in that Roth, well, that's going to be an even greater commitment. About $3,000 a month is what you need to contribute if you're able to earn that 8%. Getting to $1 million tax-free in that Roth IRA, you can get there. That's some of the math with your contributions. To help you along the way is conversions. The second thing that's going to help you get to $1 million in your Roth IRA. Conversions is where you take money that you'd previously contributed pre-tax and convert it. You move it over from pre-tax to Roth. That maneuver is a taxable event, and you've got to watch out for some of the gotchas with this strategy. We create a lot of content on Roth conversions. It's a fantastic strategy when it makes sense, but we help with a lot of the do's and don'ts and things you need to look out for. But typically you're going to do this when you find yourself in a low tax rate, when the market's in a slump, or when you think you're going to be in a higher tax bracket out there in the future. Take advantage of these Roth conversions where you shift dollars that maybe before you had this vision of building up so much into a Roth IRA, you had contributed pre-tax, or maybe with your employer match dollars or your employer contributions, those have been pre-tax. Convert those over. That'll help you along that path to getting to that $1 million in that Roth. And then most people can't save their way to $1 million in their Roth alone. The benefit of the Roth is on that growth. It's tax-free growth. So the third way you're going to get to $1 million in that Roth is through compound growth. Compound growth, right? If you said, you know what, I don't really like the ups and downs of the stock market, so that 8% rate of return that you were calculating, that you were using in that first calculation, I'm not comfortable with that. Let's assume an average rate of return of 2%, because I just want to be in a savings account. And you might say right now, wait, Mike, this 3.5% or 4% is what you can get in savings accounts. I know, but stretch that out over a long period of time. It's typically averaged around 2, something like that. So let's assume that was the growth rate. If so, go back to that first calculation where you're maxing out, you're contributing that $7,000 every single year to your Roth IRA, and you do so for about 32, 33 years. If it's only growing at 2% compounding, you're not reaching that $1 million. You're at around 309,000 after 32 years. It's going to be difficult to save your way all the way to $1 million. You've got to be growing, compound in your investment portfolio with that Roth IRA. And that is one of the big mistakes that we see a lot of folks when they are getting skittish or want to reduce the risk in their overall portfolio. They reduce the risk in all of their accounts. The Roth, the benefit of the Roth is not on your contribution. It's not on the withdrawal. It's on the growth. The benefit is on the growth. You need to be using growth-oriented investments in your Roth. That helps you with this goal, but also that's where the tax savings come in. The growth is withdrawn tax-free if you've had a Roth for at least 5 years and you're age 59 and a half. So make sure you're working with your CFP and balancing out, having the right investment strategy, the right mix for you to leverage that compound growth. But further, work with your CFP on this goal. Should this be a goal of yours to build up $1 million in that Roth, whether Roth IRA, Roth 401k combined for your retirement, have $1 million? What will it take for you to get there? What coaching do you need along the way? And what is the right investment and prudent investment strategy for you to get that compound growth? Work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K. WiseMoneyShow.com. You can find us there as well, or send us an email, info@Korhorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.